What's up guys, NepentheZ here and welcome back to another episode of The Road to Glory. On the screen is the team that we're using, some more stuff to discuss today. I'm going to be going over a few things that I've gone over previously. And the reason why, as I say from time to time, we get a lot of new fans to this channel every day, you know, somewhere between 300 and 1,000 new subscribers each day. And not everyone can watch every video, I understand that. You know, this is like almost episode 150. You know, they're mostly like 20 to 30 minutes long. That's a lot of content, so a lot of people miss a lot of things. So I thought, let me just pick some commonly asked questions for today and kind of reiterate the points of those. So some of you may be watching this not learning anything or not hearing anything new, and for some of you this may be new news. And on top of that, I've got some other stuff to talk about. First thing I want to say is if you last weekend was the first weekend you ever got into FUT Champs, or was the first weekend you ever got to gold, you do automatically qualify with gold 3 or above, but that automatic qualification comes when the rewards are given out, which is usually Wednesday night. You're probably watching this video on Thursday, so yeah, you would have already been automatically qualified, but that's the deal. The requirements for the current tournament are nothing, so I was playing through to try and figure out what I was going to do with my two teams, or if I was going to use one team. I was trying to teach myself a few new things offensively, not necessarily defensively, because I'm going to concede goals regardless, so I want to just really work on my attack and make sure I'm able to put away the ball in as many opportunities as I can. Interestingly, obviously I'm playing the daily knockouts. Interestingly, I'm not qualified at this stage because did I win the daily knockout in a previous video? Maybe I did. So although I'm qualified already, there was a thread on Reddit about the daily knockouts, and I actually want to read it, guys, because I made a post in it. And the thread is from Show Me the P. And he says, why can you play daily qualifiers if you've already qualified? He says, what's the benefit of having players who have already qualified playing the daily knockout? Just came up against a guy in the final with an insane team with 3 red informs. He beat me 4-2 and then messaged me to say sorry for beating me and I've already qualified. So that it sucks, right? It sucks for you guys that can't qualify and struggle to come up against super teams. But good team doesn't necessarily mean already qualified. I've come up against some incredible teams along the way who are clearly like pretty bad players. And in the same vein, bad team doesn't mean not qualified or qualified either. And red cards doesn't also mean they're qualified. There are some people that may only get gold 3 for the month that can only qualify 3 weeks out of the 4 because they don't actually achieve gold weekly. And they could have just got lucky with one of their red cards. So having a red card, although would indicate that they've played in FUT Champs before, doesn't guarantee that they're absolutely qualified in that instance. However, I do generally agree with the sentiment that EA have overlooked massively the tournaments and the qualifications. So I replied to that thread saying a few reasons why I play in it after qualifying. Division 1 is just a sweat fest. You know, it's pretty difficult. Sometimes I just want to play a casual, relaxed game of FIFA. I don't want to have my like FUT Champs head on all the time. You know, FUT Champs is 40 games in a weekend. I don't then want to have to go and play FUT Champs style players for another 10 games at a time in Division 1. Online singles, it's really difficult to get games in online singles if you have a high rated team. People will see like a 90 or a 91 attack or an 87 midfielder, they'll just bounce. They don't want to play against that team. The rewards, although aren't incredible at all times, are pretty nice to get. We get 2,000 coins each time on this occasion, but in the requirements for the current daily knockout that will be there today as you're watching this video, you get a gold pack for that one. Now that could be huge for some people, especially for myself. I know we've got like a lot of coins on this road to glory. We've got a lot of good players, a lot of good things, but those gold packs could be vital to enhancing my team. So I will be playing it again for those reasons. And last but not least, I like to and prefer to test out new players, new styles, new custom tactics, new formations, new player instructions in a very less stressful environment than in Division 1, you know. But I do agree that it would be prudent for EA to put something in the game that stops people that are already qualified from going into the daily knockouts, but just creating another tournament. You know, like they used to have with the Gold Cup or the Champions Cup or whatever it was called. Just put that in there. Even if the reward is only and always 2,000 coins, it doesn't matter. It will just be a really unstressful time or less stressful time to be able to just go in, play play some casual games, try out new things and learn things about the game without sitting there thinking, oh my god, I'm going to have to play like one of the best players in the game every single game I come up in divisions. So that is my opinion on that. Daniel Gibbons says, hey Net, what are the chances of you going on the True Geordie podcast? Would love to see you on there. Very high, dude. As you guys may or may not know, I've got caught on Monday. Something that essentially was just really bad. How to say this? I'm not allowed to talk about it yet until after the court situation. But basically, I've got myself one way or another in some trouble. It's non-threatening, non-violent or anything like that. It's to do with the Gambling Commission. If you Google my name, you will find out about this. So I've got caught on Monday, and the maximum sentence for the penalties that I am accused of is up to 51 weeks imprisonment. So that is the maximum penalty. I don't believe I deserve the maximum penalty. I don't believe... Again, I can't. It's hard to talk about this without saying the wrong thing because I'm not allowed to talk about it. But basically, what I've been accused of, the maximum sentence is 51 weeks imprisonment. So if I am found guilty, that would be the harshest punishment. Which in UK, the way the laws work, you would serve half of that as time anyway. You would only serve half your sentence, and then if like. There are other things that get reduced sentences outside of that, and then if you're in prison for I think a certain amount of time, you can ask to be released on tag. So I'd have a tag around my ankle. Again, worst case scenario, assuming I'm found guilty, it's a stress. The whole thing is a stress. Like it's been an eye-opening time, but one of the most difficult years of my life. What my family have had to go through because of these accusations and what's going to happen through court and through the public eye, and whether or not I'm found guilty or not. It's a damaging time. It's a really tough time for me, and I'm worried mostly that it's going to influence my livelihood after the fact, whether or not it's guilty or not guilty. I'm worried that. There won't be a place for me on YouTube or on Twitch afterwards, because even though right now I'm going through it, there is no final outcome. So what one of my big worries is that after the fact, first and foremost, that I don't walk out of court on Monday and instead I'm shipped off to one cell or another somewhere or another. That's obviously like it's very, very daunting. It's a very daunting prospect for me. Not that I believe that will happen or I feel like I deserve for that to happen, but you just never know, man. You've read some horror stories in the justice system before, so I always I sit there and I worry that that's going to be me on this occasion. And number two, I worry that I come away on Monday, come home, and the fallout just basically sees me, criminal YouTuber essentially, which could potentially be a prospect. So it's going to be a tough few days for me going forwards. You're probably watching this on Thursday. I've got to go to court, as I say, on Monday, and come Tuesday we'll know one way or another what's happening, but I don't know what that means for me and for the future. However, in terms of the question from Daniel Gibbons for True Geordie podcast, assuming I'm able to walk away from court and leave court under any circumstance, I've said to True Geordie that I will go do his podcast with him that Friday. So not tomorrow as you're watching this, but next Friday, I will hopefully be able to be on the True Geordie podcast, where I will talk with him about absolutely everything, what I've gone through, what happened, how it happened, the outcome of what's gone on, and give you guys the full information. I would also, if he's ever up for it, I know he's DM'd me a few times about it, I'd also like to talk to Philip DeFranco about the situation when possible, but those are the only two people that I will talk to it about, other than just doing it on my own channel, although like the drama channels like Drama Alert and Scarce and such will probably pick up the story again as they did when it first broke about 4 months ago. I will actually only give my my time and my energy to people who have respected me and talked to me about it throughout the time without just jumping to a conclusion and judging, so there's that to come. And as I say, guys, for me it's it's a tough time, man. I don't care about the internet trolls. I don't care about the people that will just make jokes and make fun of the outcome either way. They have done already so, you know, there have been just unlimited negativity surrounding this. And I deserve it for whatever reason. I've got myself into this situation. But I can deal with that. What I wouldn't be able to deal with is just not having a place on YouTube anymore because of a potential mistake, you know. As I say, I can't really talk about it much more than that. I'd love to say what I have to say. I'd love to tell you my opinion and how I feel, but until the case is resolved, I'm unfortunately not allowed to speak about it. Anyway, moving swiftly on. Adam D says, where is the bronze pack method to glory? There was never a bronze pack method to glory. There was a bronze pack method series where I would show you guys how opening bronze packs generates revenue. And that was on my main channel, not on this channel anyway, so it's like kind of a moot point. But it got a lot of thumbs up, this comment, and I basically stopped uploading it because there just wasn't much interest in it. In theory, people feel like they want to watch that kind of thing, but in practice, nobody wants to watch someone opening bronze packs and making 300 coins an item over a long period of time. So with that in mind, it just didn't get the views and the interest that it initially sparked, and so I stopped it. Hen614 says, hey Net, with Sky Sports leaking the January 1 to watch cards, with that video it said there will be SBCs where you could get 1 to watches. Do you think EA will do the SBCs like the Team of the Week ones? Yes, I do. Are you going to invest in this? No, I'm not. And how do you think the new rating structure will affect investments? I know it's a long comment, but I hope you answer my questions. So I won't be investing now because it's too late. I've missed the boat. And I explained this in the video yesterday, but don't invest in 84s. I think it's a mistake if you do. There was a couple of investment opportunities for 83s and 84s, and then the next investment opportunity when everyone cottoned on was ruined by EA dropping the special packs. And then this one, EA have dropped so many packs for half price and stuff that there are so many people with hordes and hordes of these players that when they're going to be relevant for an SBC, they're going to get dumped onto the market. It's going to crash their price. So I wouldn't invest in that. Interestingly, on my road to glory, I was looking at Alisson. Remember when I picked up Alisson for like 11,000? I could have sold him and then or bought him 4 days ago for 20,000. I believe his price is now at like 38,000. And I didn't buy any of him at 20,000 because I didn't have any money in the bank. I've only finally just sold Dani Alves to get some coins in the bank. But basically let myself down with having no funds and not having an investment opportunity in the 1 to watches. I do think that they will be, the 1 to watch SBC will be like the Team of the Week one. I don't know if it'll be repeatable or if it'll just be like you can do this once, because it's a guaranteed 1s to watch card. So if you don't require a 1 to watch card to put in there to get a guaranteed 1s to watch card, there are just going to be a hell of a lot of 1 to watch cards on the market, which won't be good for them. They'll be dead cheap and not profitable. In terms of the new rating structure, I believe the new rating structure is 9 84s and 2 83s to get an 84 rated squad. But we don't know if an 84 rated squad is going to be what is required to get a 1 to watch card. It may be less, it may be more, it may just be entirely different structure altogether. So right now I would say you've missed your boat on investments. I do think that they will be SBC Team of the Weeks like the Inform ones, but I don't think you should invest on those things, basically. Joshua Keane says, hey Nep, when do you think the premium SBC cards will be coming to FIFA 17 this year? They showed that they're going to do different SBC cards with the same coloration as the others, but with the rarer shape to the card and the shine around the player name and rating when they release those types of cards in game back in September. Keep up the great work. I don't know, dude, to be honest. I don't know what they're for. I don't know, we don't know what style of player they were for. Some people theorize that it would be for a legend SBC, which still could be the situation. But I honestly don't know when they're coming, what they're for, or how EA plan to use them. For all we know, they could be team of the season cards for SBCs. You know what I mean? It could be like, okay, so at the end of the year in BPL, there's a team of the season, and then one special team of the season card that's an SBC that's that card. I don't know how it works, and I don't think anyone does. Donald Trump's sister says, hey Nip, what do you think of... Why do you think you save money by applying 11 bronze fitnesses, which is a total of 2,200 coins, when they eventually sell, instead of squad fitnesses, which is 1,000 coins? I'm just wondering this and really enjoying the content lately. Keep it up. So again, this is something I discussed before. For me to use fitness cards over the course of a whole weekend, squad fitness cards, I would have to buy the fitness cards. It would cost me coins. I would physically have to go to the market and buy them. But for me to use the individual fitness cards, I don't have to go and buy them. I just have them in the club because of how prominent and profitable the bronze pack method is. I also don't use 11 every game. I use sometimes 3, sometimes 4. Like right now I use a couple on Hazard, Modric and Marcelo, but then I can interchange Walcott and Sterling, so I don't have to use fitness cards there. I can interchange Chan, Chadley, Diego Costa and Fernandinho, so I don't have to use any there. I don't use them on the goalkeeper, so every 2 games I only use like a couple of fitness cards, really, where it's not like 2,200 coins. And also, they don't always sell. So if you're looking at 10 per time, because the goalkeeper isn't relevant, and they only went for 150, that's 1,500 coins, opposed to 1,000 coins that you'd get for the fitness card, or at times up to 1,400 or 1,500 coins in the fitness card as well. So it's kind of like, it's very similar. It's just about personal preference. And as I say, I could quite easily use the squad fitness cards. I don't need to, nor do I want to. I personally believe this is the best way forwards. I believe it's the most cost efficient way. I believe the squad fitness cards sell far quicker and for far more money than the individual squad fitness cards that just take up space on the trade pile and then potentially won't sell. If we get to a point where they sell every time, then I'd reevaluate. I'd go back to thinking about 2 teams, or at least the bulk of 2 teams. I'd go back to reconsidering my options with fitness and generating more revenue like that. But whilst the individual ones rarely sell and mostly for 150, and the squad fitnesses always sell for anywhere between 1,000 and 1,500, and I essentially have unlimited individuals and very limited squad fitness cards, it's for me way more beneficial to do it in this manner. There's a couple of really long comments, but I'll just read this one as the last one. I'll save the other 2 because I think they're a very good topic of discussion. Dan says, I agree with a lot of what you said, but the A-League part of the marquee matchups was nowhere near being 10 to 12k. Each player was going for 2,000 minimum, and some positions like centre-backs and full-backs were near the 3,000 coin mark. I hate how you massively understate the value and cost of SBCs. I mean, sure, entitled to your opinion, but you're wrong. It was 10 to 12,000 coins. You could get the gold striker from Sydney for like 400 to 500 coins, and that covered that angle of things, and it gave you your striker for cheap. You could get the goalkeeper for 200 coins, no question about it. You could get a left mid and a right mid for 200 coins because there was no left mid or right mid in the team. They were just basically not expensive at all, and put them at the right back and left back spot where they would get 6 chemistry. You only needed 90 chemistry for this team, so you were able to give up chemistry in a lot of places. So that's your left back, right back, goalkeeper and striker done for about 1,000 to 1,200 coins. So you now only need 7 players to complete the rest of that. And even if what you say that they were going for 2,000 to 3,000, that 7 players at 2,000 would have been 14,000 coins, but you could again get them for cheaper. Because there was only 1 striker in the squad, it was cheaper to buy a striker and put him at cam and convert him from a striker to a centre forward than it was to go and buy a cam. The cam, you may have been correct, at times within 22, 23, 24, maybe up to 3,000 coins. But if you just went and bought a striker for like 700 coins and bought a conversion for like, I think like 400 coins, you're paying 1,100 coins for that player instead. And if you could snipe them good enough, you'd get them for even cheaper. So whilst you may have been right that if you bought 1 right back, 1 left back, 2 centre backs, the 2 CDMs, 3 cams and a striker, it probably would have cost you around 20 to 30,000 coins. But if you're clever about how you did it, and if you understand the importance of where the chemistry goes when you put different players in it, you could have done it for 10 to 12,000 coins. There on Footbin, they have the SBCs. Let me go into Footbin real quick right here. On Footbin, they have the SBCs, and it tells you the cheapest method of doing it. For example, if we go to what's live right now, the hybrid, League and Nation hybrid, and we go to the legendary one, which you get a 50k pack for, there is a completed team that costs 9,100 coins. It says it right here on my screen. I'm not making that up. Go to Footbin, go to it. So what Footbin does is it tracks the prices of the cheapest version of a player for that team, or people submit their squads with the cheapest ways of doing it. So if you think, oh wow, I don't want to pay this much money for this, just go onto Footbin and find the cheapest version and then do it. It might require that you need loyalty on those players because it's easier to buy them, or if you haven't packed them or whatever. But in general, you can do these SBCs for far cheaper than you may think. So you say you hate it that I massively understate the value cost of SBCs, but I think you massively overstate the value and the cost, because there are far more ways of doing it than the obvious. Than, oh, I need a left back, let me buy a left back. Oh my god, he's 3k. Well, why not go buy a left mid who's 200 coins, who will slot in there and get you 6 chem as well? You've saved yourself 2,800 coins. Or even worst case scenario, go buy a left wing for 200 coins, buy the left wing to left mid position modifier for 200 coins, and then it's cost you 400 coins to put a guy in there. You know, it's not expensive and it's not difficult. It's just about having the knowledge of doing it for cheap, basically, which is, I think, that you don't have. But anyway, guys, this is going to be the end of the video. If you did enjoy it, be sure to leave a like, rating, comment, and subscribe to my channel if you haven't already. But for now, guys, I'm out. Peace.